What's up, everybody? How are we doing on this Monday morning? Mindless Motivation. So excited for you to be here to join the hundreds of thousands of millions of the Motivation Nation, of my followers here. I'm Nate Cutaneous, so you guys know. And I'm going to ask you a question. Do you put a lot of value on what other people think of you? That's the big question here today. And if you're saying yes, then I say, no way, me too. Wow, what a coincidence. And I'm really hoping that a lot of people are watching this and liking this and commenting on this, because that external validation is so important to my ego. So huge. Vanity metrics, great source of external validation. And that's what today's show is all about: how to get that external validation and get tons of it. Let's do this. Welcome to Mindless Motivation, your most motivational, inspirational, life transformational 15 minutes of your Monday, of your week, of your life, even, maybe? I mean, that's my promise to you, okay? If we don't do that, then I have failed. And I don't fail. I always succeed, okay? So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna get you motivated. I'm Nate Cutaneous, your thought leader, your life coach, your motivational speaker. As you know, people always say, like, why do you say motivational speaker? And I say, I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't give motivational speaks. I give motivational speeches. Okay? That's what a motivational speaker does. Motivational speeches. And I got to ask, are you externally motivated or are you internally motivated? What lights you up in the inside? What gets you going, right? Now, on internal motivation, on that side, yeah, sure. Positive self-talk, visioning exercises, positive affirmations. They're fun. They're good. They could be effective. But Lamborghinis and money are so cool. So, for me, external validation is where it's at. And that's what I want to help you get if you're somebody who's like me, who really is into the fancy cars that go from 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. Okay? So I actually had a chance to sit down with my guest today, who is a gold medal winning Olympic champion. His name is Roland Schoeman, and he's from South Africa, and he won gold medal swimming in the Olympics. And this was a few years ago. But we talked a lot about self-validation versus external validation or internal validation. And, this idea of achievement, right? Which is really what life's all about, right? Achievement. It's not about life, connections and relationships and things like that, right? It's much more about what you accomplish in life and how much money you make. But Roland talks about how he has to sort of wrestle with that a little bit, because once you win gold medal, it's like, where do you go from there? There's no platinum medal. There's no way to outdo that, right? What do you start chasing after that? And that's what we talked about today. And I'm so excited that you guys are here to watch this, because it's so mind-blowingly inspirational. And I want to get right to it here, with my interview with Roland, gold medal Olympic champion swimmer from South Africa, talking about external validation. Here we go. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything does happen for a reason.
It's what my grandma always said.
Oh, I just thought it was your accent.
I know it's a thick accent coming from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Southern accent. Everything happens for a reason was just something that my grandma always said. She was one of my greatest motivational influences.
How did that come about?
My grandma, well, her parents
Well, I mean,
had
I
sex.
kind of figured, yeah, I figured it that one, but I mean, the statements.
The statement about the raisin, yeah.
Yes.
She was drunk. She was drinking a lot of wine at the time, and I think she just mispronounced the word. So on your Instagram profile, in big bold letters, it says, "I won Olympic gold. Now what?"
Growing up, getting into the sport of swimming, I had believed that an Olympic medal will solve everything. You stand on the podium with that gold medal and your life will in some way, shape or form be complete. I've really started to understand that if I keep on searching for external validation, it just perpetuates the problem, just that searching of it. So that's a little bit of it. I won an Olympic gold medal. Now what? Far deeper than what I thought it was.
So have you come up with something?
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear your suggestions first.
Have you tried hiring me? That's something that you could do. If you're not finding the external validation in other places, you can give me money, and I can tell you things to make you feel validated. And that way you don't have to search inside, and you don't have to look and think or go on some sort of a internal journey and find sort of emotional barriers that you have to overcome and go through and any of that stuff.
Right,
you can just get it from me. Yeah. So, hey, Roland, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, so external validation, what it's all about, right? Roland, open to my inspirational talk there, maybe hiring me as a life coach to help him find it, right? Because you can just pay somebody else to do that for you instead of learning life experiences. So how do we get that external validation that we're all seeking so much? Of course, we can absolutely learn how to self-validate, but that's really hard, right? And I wouldn't recommend doing the hard work to do that. Instead, I would like for you guys to consider these 3 practices that can help you get more external validation, and how we get after it, okay? The first thing is this. We have to prioritize other people's needs first ahead of ours. If we're really looking for external validation, we have to prioritize other people's needs. Very important, okay? Make sure that you keep that external validation at the top of your list of values over growth, right? Over human connection, over relationships. When we prioritize other people's needs, that allows us to focus on not ourselves and not allow us to validate ourselves, but allows us to externally validate, or at least try to find it, keep searching for it. Right? So that's the first thing, is prioritize other people's needs. The second thing that we have to do, very important, is to consider moving back into our mom's house, right? Because many of us are spending, a lot of our lives trying to chase after the love that we never received from our parents. And, we just have to try harder, right? We have to chase a little harder than we have been in the first place, right? It's all about the grind. You have to stick with it. You have to work harder. And I think that you have to put your money where your mouth is and move back in with your mom. So that is something that I've done as a way to chase external validation. And I may never get it, but at least I'm trying, right? So that's the second thing you have to do, is you have to move back in it with your mom. And the third thing, this is so important when you're looking for external validation, is don't ever self-validate. Don't validate yourself, right? Because that's totally counterintuitive. Because when we do this, you won't need external validation, right? When we find ways to validate ourselves, when we find ways to love ourselves, then we don't search after external validation anymore. And that's totally counterintuitive. We're trying to find external validation, right? With the money and the vanity metrics and the Lamborghinis and the hugs. So it's totally counterintuitive when we're trying to find external validation. So just stay away from things like positive self-talk or writing down positive affirmations and saying those out loud. Stay away from ways where that source of validation comes from inside of you. Focus on external validation. So 3 things, recap. Prioritize other people's needs first. Very important. Number 2, move in with your mom so you can keep chasing that external validation that you never got in the first place. And number 3, never validate yourself. Super important. Super important. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Never heard of him. Hey, it's cutaneous. If you're ready to make a change, and you want to stay motivated, and you want all of your dreams to come true, and you want to join the Motivation Nation, then I am so glad you're here watching these videos, because you're ready to do more. By watching my videos, by subscribing, then I promise you that your dreams will come true. You will grow in health and wealth, and you will never, ever die. So subscribe to these videos, subscribe to YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Grindr, Tinder, and I'm sure that by doing all of that, your wildest dreams will come true. All right. Hey, you know what? If you subscribe to my videos and to all of my different social media platforms, that's a great way to externally validate me. So I would love it if you would do that, just like the commercial says, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Scott Metcalf, why validate yourself when millions of others can validate you? Absolutely. That's absolutely one of the most important things that you can do in life is to seek that out, completely search for it. Spend your entire life doing it. That's what I'm doing, right? I have thousands of millions of billions of followers and, friends, I guess you could call them. And they're constantly validating me at all times when I ask them to like and comment. So Scott Metcalf, thank you so much for commenting this. I obviously paid you to do that. But it's a mutual exchange, right? He's getting value, I'm getting value. And it makes me feel good for the next, I get that dopamine spike for the next, 20 seconds. And then I'm going to need somebody else to comment. So if you're watching this, if you could please comment and say something really, really wonderful about what you're watching, that would be really great to help me validate myself. I'd really appreciate that. Ashley says, sometimes I will insult myself in front of people just so they have to compliment me. That's fantastic. That's a great way. Wow. There's so many layers there. So many using insults to get compliments from other people. Using a little bit of self-hate to get some external love. Whew. And I got to imagine, Ashley, that love that you're getting is probably very genuine and authentic. If I know love like I think I know love. So that's exciting for you. I'm going to try that one. I'm going to go out and insult myself today on a little walk that I'm going to go on and see if I can't get some attention that way. Ashley, powerful. Scott, powerful stuff here, guys. Very powerful stuff. As I always do, I have to share my quote of that was last week's quote. I got to give you guys a new quote here. Throw this up here just to get you motivated for the day. Neuroticism. When it's time to take control of everything except your own emotions. Neuroticism. The word of the day. And you guys can use neuroticism as a way to try to control everything in your life except for your emotions, just like I said. You guys, I'm so excited for this Monday to get you going, to get you motivated, to get you jazzed, to get you juiced, to get you ready to go. You're ready to find that external validation. You're ready to seek it out, to bring it in, and to keep chasing it your entire life, which is very exciting for you and for me. I want to thank you all for joining today's Monday Motivation. Let's get out there and get after it. All right.